Talks. Oh, hello, everyone. Hello, viewers. Hello, Freddy. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome to Go Movie Talks. How's your day going, Maria Laura?
My day's going good. Actually, a little bit stressing because I've been working on some things, but at the same
Hi.
time,
Isn't that always the case? We're always busy. Look, even she came. Today. Yes, you're having a
even megapixel is that busy, okay? Because we are busy people here.
I mean,
But
she doesn't keep clean herself. Well, no, actually, she's a cat. Yes. That's how she's busy. Absolutely.
absolutely. But I'm also very happy because today we are recording our official 10th episode. Yay!
Just to clarify, we have 11 videos uploaded, but of course, one was split into two parts. So
Exactly.
yes,
Yeah.
today is our official 10th episode, actual 10th movie we're discussing, if you will.
Yes, yes. Remember that there was one of the movies, Holy Mothers, that
I was gonna say you don't even remember.
took took 2 episodes to be discussed because we are intense at the time of talking. But since we have learned
We are always intense, but we know we gotta keep it short for people to actually watch something.
exactly.
We're being nice, just for the viewers. But yeah,
That's right. That's right. Throughout all these 9 episodes after that, we have learned that it takes less time to edit if we make only one episode. So here we are, Freddie. What's the name of
wait.
today's movie?
I chose it. It's one of my favorites. Period. Yeah, I'm going all in. This is my episode. I'm hugging this one. Um, all right, so we're discussing all about my mother from Pedro Almodóvar. Todo sobre mi madre for some of you. Um, Look, what is there to say about this movie? Uh, I will hog this episode. So I want Maria Laura to get her opinion first because
No.
most
I'm here to
likely,
listen, honey. I'm here to
okay,
listen.
you're here to listen. Okay, the
Yes,
preacher is gonna start preaching.
this is
Um,
yours. This is all yours. So go
hey,
ahead,
look,
shoot.
there is a lot to like about this movie. Let's face it. Almodovar is somewhat famous in the independent movie circuit. There is a lot to like about his movies. Uh, the easiest thing to like about his movies is the visuals. I think he does have a very distinct point of view.
Yeah.
If I can compare it to an American director, I would definitely have to say, oh my God, my names. The director of the Grand Budapest Hotel, Maria Laura, help me out.
Wes
What's
Anderson.
exactly? He would be the Wes Anderson of Spain, and again, they're very different. I'm not saying they have
But
this
with more vibrant colors.
exactly. Yeah, no, I'm actually not saying they have the same style. I am the same. I'm saying they are at the same caliber.
Yeah,
As soon as you see the
absolutely.
movie, you can tell who this movie is from,
Yeah.
and not just the art direction, but also the cinematography, the camera work. You can clearly tell. For instance, I think a lot of the knowledge I have about the technique, the shooting technique,
Mhm.
comes from having read a lot of stuff about Almodovar. And I'm really appreciative of it now that I know the reason why of some things. For instance, a lot of I would say mainstream movies
Yes.
say or go straight to the point. For instance, a character has to go somewhere and they just shoot the moment the character finishes talking to somebody and then ultimately they get to where they needed to be. There is no transition in between. So from Almodovar, and years ago, this is not something recent, but years ago, I remember reading something about one of his works,
Hmm.
and they said it, and they explained it. It is very important for a viewer to be able to empathize with these characters to understand the journey. And for you to really understand that journey, you need to go through it as well. You cannot just tell the viewer, oh, yeah, this character went through these different steps. You need to see it, to live it, to experience it. So, for instance, let's say a mother, and I'm already going into into the
All about
movie.
my mother.
Um, and this is still an example. She needs to traverse from one city to the other. Almodovar does take its time to film the moment she's moving from one place to the other. So some people will say, "Oh, but that's just inflating the movie." No, it's not. You
It
as a viewer, you
is.
need to understand as well. There is a time, and you as a human being, if you're moving from one city to another, there is time invested in between. You will be thinking, you will be reflecting, you will be
Exactly.
anticipating.
Yes.
So
Yes.
all of those emotions a regular human being is going through, most likely you will also go through as a viewer
Yes.
for the character, because you will be anticipating as well what's coming next. But oh, she's had this issue here, how is she going to tackle it when she gets there? So it's allowing the viewer to also experience those emotions, or to develop their own emotions, or interpretations of what's going on. So as a director, that is something um, beyond deliberate. I mean, it's a risk, because you are risking the viewer not necessarily understanding what you're doing. But Pedro Almodóvar, for me, he knows exactly how to handle those situations so that the viewer connects to a deeper degree with these
Yes,
characters.
definitely, definitely. Almodovar has that unique way to set you within the minds of the characters, to get them to know deeply. Okay, so this, and as you said before, that's quite risky. First of all, because you usually have 2 hours to make a whole movie, a whole story, but he does everything so smooth, so soft, so even, with that special touch of melancholy, and that special touch of feeling that makes you feel that many years happen by watching this movie, so it's amazing, amazing.
Another staple of his, which I think has spread to different movies in different countries, is the imprint, this character of Spanish culture is very much imprinted in his movies. If you
Yes,
watch other cinema from Spain, you may or may not realize, or the culture may not be as deeply represented. But I think Almodovar really goes for the folklore and tries to always portray history, some of it.
absolutely.
So to me, it started as a window to a different culture, and as years go by, you realize, well, this is his point of view. So it may not necessarily be the reality, but it's very much rooted
Yeah.
in the Spanish culture. And beyond that, I think he's mislabeled as gay cinema. Yes, a lot of gay people
Ah,
course, adore Almodovar, but I don't think his movies are targeted to gay audiences. Absolutely not. It's just he's
absolutely
very
not.
heartfelt. He plays a lot with emotions, and if
Yes,
you ask me, people who are not very comfortable dealing with emotions are just not attracted to his movies. So I think that's why there is that misconception of
exactly.
his cinema being
Exactly.
gay oriented. That's absolutely not true.
That, well, there's basically, that touch of emotion that has to be present in an Almodovar's movie. Otherwise, it's not an Almodovar's movie. And apart from that, his main characters, or his plots, most of his plots have developed a female experience, okay, which is
And a lot of them revolve around motherhood.
exactly, yes,
This in particular, of course, revolves exactly around that,
yes,
and specifically how a mother gives up a lot of what constitutes her herself right before giving birth, just so that you, as a mother, you are able to cater to your child.
exactly,
And
exactly.
the specific context of this movie, and this happens at the very beginning, so this is no big spoiler. You have this mother, this son, the son, I don't remember what, but I think he's 18 at the moment. So he's barely an adult,
Mm-hmm.
and he dies in a car accident. So as a mother, now she's lost what she's dedicated her life to for quite a while, and now
The
very
reason to
ironically,
be.
yeah, no, and very ironically, the kid was writing a book about his mom. So you get to see his perspective of him not knowing his mother, and yet when the mother experiences this loss, she has to go through a lot of reconnecting to different people in her life, just so that she gets to be at peace with what had just happened. So it is very interesting, very touching, just to see this woman reclaiming, not reclaiming, but reconnecting to everything she was before becoming a mother.
Yes,
Because the movie also makes it very clear. It's not that she negates, she runs from her past, but rather she had a kid, so her lifestyle changed.
yeah.
Uh,
There were things that she had to do, okay, just because of the fact that, she was raising a child, she had to provide, she had to, adapt to circumstances and everything. And I guess that's a quite interesting point about this movie, and Almodovar makes it really emphatic, even though Almodovar always, tries to involve everybody in the story, no matter if you are gay, no matter if you are transgender, no matter if you are whatever, okay? Everybody's welcome here. Everybody has a story to tell, but there's definitely differences among us, okay? And that's something really important to recognize, okay? Because in the movie, ironically speaking, we don't have only one mother, we have various mothers, okay? All of them with different stories. And we have also a transgender mother, okay? And one of the main differences Almodovar portrays in these movies is that yes, you can be a mother, you can be, whoever you want, but there are differences
I,
that come with
I
your
stress that difference, and specifically for transgender women. Yes, you
exactly.
cannot give
Yes,
birth, but that
exactly.
does not mean you don't have this special connection to whoever you call your child.
But it's not, and this is going to be very controversial for this show, but it's not the same connection as his other mother, as his, biological mother. So again, it's
That yeah,
different.
that's one surprise. We'll leave for the viewers. You need to find out what the relationship is. That's
Exactly.
all
Exactly.
at the end
Yeah.
of the movie.
I'll leave it to you, viewer.
I
Okay.
think is the
Watch the
ultimate.
movie.
That is the ultimate Almodovar twist. This kind of twist is exactly why he's known as a gay director, or gay movies, just because.
Exactly.
But it's fabulous. It's
He
fabulous.
slaps, he slaps the viewers on the face with lots of reality that are happening in the world, and not everyone's willing to talk about, but yes, there are these realities. Okay.
And take that
So
take into consideration, this movie was filmed, was released in 1998. So I
yeah,
think
yeah, it has its age, and
it's
but
quite it's
again,
already,
I mean,
but it's very valid and it still applies. It is a very current, And beyond that, just for, I think, the themes explored in the movie speak about his views and how avant-garde his cinema is. He was
Yes,
already talking about these topics when nobody else would, because they were considered taboo.
exactly.
And I
Yes.
think this is exactly where this movie hit home to me very, very closely. I remember watching it. I was 18, most likely at the time, and so I was very young. And yet, I remember it just marked me very deeply, because I got to see so many different stories and how all of them connected just from this humane thread. To me, it just clicked. It's like, wow, this is exactly what society is all about. The things that unite us. It's not how different we are. It's all about being happy, and at the same time, uh, having learning to deal with differences, because you
Exactly.
said it, we're all
And
different.
being
It's
consonant
not what
with
makes us different. It's what actually the things we have in common. What brings us closer.
exactly, but like uh, one of the biggest messages is that the you are happy just the way you are consonant with your own soul.
This is the moment. This is the moment. I have to read something.
Go ahead.
This monologue is brilliant. La Agrado is my favorite film character.
Character in the
I'll,
movie.
I'll, I'll say it right now. I'm pretty sure every other character, they're fantastic. I'm not questioning that. But La Agrado is the one that left a mark on me up to this day. I live by this motto mentioned in her monologue. And I have to read it to you because absolutely, I don't want to quote it from memory. I want to read it to get it straight for the viewers.
Go ahead.
Um, very briefly put, um, it costs a lot to be authentic. And one can be stingy with these things, because you are more authentic the more you resemble what you've dreamed of being. That I remember being a young man, I don't know, 18, 17, 19, hearing these words. And I'm like, wow,
And
absolutely.
it was beautiful from that character because she actually she didn't prepare that monologue. She was just, filling a space, an empty space in the whole thing. And she came so spontaneous and so her talking like that
Mhm.
everyone in that room stood up and applaud her words because they were absolutely fantastic. And I guess, yes, that's true.
And I have to give props to Antonia San Juan, girl,
The actress.
you ate. Yes, yes, exactly. I still follow you online. I've watched some more of your movies. I really adore what you did. I live by your acting. I live by the script. I live by Pedro Almodóvar. This
Definitely.
it's
Definitely.
very hard to top that kind of influence on somebody, and I'm sure that future generations will watch this movie and will have a similar effect, because
Mhm.
it it just speaks so loudly about how easy it is to be happy
Yeah,
and just live in consonance with everybody else around you. The movie
exactly.
portrays a lot of issues in the main characters, and yet it tells you exactly how you can just not get over it, but be go past it, and at the same time connect with those around you. Because that's the other thing. These characters, Almodovar has a thing for very eclectic characters, and you rarely see them. Like when you see
Funny,
them,
but that's the main point. I mean, all of them are pretty different, yet, I mean, what
and
Almodovar is telling us here is that there is no ideal image of as a mother, okay? All of them might be different, okay? And all of them might have ego, might have personality, might have, different interests, and yet they're all quite big, because to all of them, as portrayed in the movie, definitely there is one context before giving birth or having a child and after that, and even after being told you had a child. Okay, so it's it's very deep, it's very intrinsic at the same time, it's all those emotions, all those female characteristics, feelings, and ways to assume and to perceive life, and having a child. It's wow, amazing, amazing.
It's a life-changing experience, of course,
Mhm.
and yet the story is not so much that she lost her son, but rather that journey of going, pretty much tracing back through all of those years. It I don't know, it's just very interesting. It's a very passionate movie from beginning to end.
Yeah.
uh there is this mystery about how it's going to unravel. You really don't know where it's going, and yet you just want to find out more and more, because that's also the, again, every actor and actress in that movie, they're fantastic. They again, it's one of my biggest movies ever in my opinion. So of course I love them all. The Agrado, La Agrado is the one that, of course, marked me. But at the same time, each and every actor involved in that movie, they just
I
delivered.
love her. If I had her in front, I would say, "Girl, marry me." For sure.
And this is
I'll clean
also
the house every day.
whatever. Yes, that's the thing. To me, I don't know, just the thought of crossing paths with Almodovar. Oh my God,
Yes.
dude, can we have a coffee together? Like, I just want to pick his brain, know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
I don't even want I don't know, an autograph. That's not what I care about. I really want to try to get a glimpse of that mind of his.
I don't know.
She's
I imagine him as someone very
down
quiet.
to
Very quiet. He's an observer, okay? But a very good observer, you know? So,
earth, because to be able to develop characters these complex, you really need to know how to observe conducts, people, and to really understand how those characteristics would react with one another when different people from different backgrounds are mixed together. So yes.
yeah. And well, at the same time, he must have had, different experiences throughout his childhood, his teenagehood that, you can easily infer by the movie his life hasn't been any easy, So again, he's
But
been,
that's also part of growing up, of being
yeah.
human. I mean, nobody really has, well, some of course has have easier lives than others, but everybody, even rich people, they also have difficulties. Of course, they are very different from, I mean, you and I, our difficulties are getting to
Totally. And our bank
for
accounts.
them, most likely connecting at a deeper level, because they may or may not feel they're being used to for their money or their influences. So we don't have those problems. We can connect at a very deep level, just because what money are you going to take from us?
Exactly.
A joke.
I, I don't I don't even have love to give you. I
Yeah,
just
exactly.
have
I'm here for free, people. It's not for love. Trust me.
exactly. So again, it's a I don't know, it's a very nice way to see how this director can, put together everything on his movies, everything, absolutely. What he
And
knows and observes about society, what he has lived, and with this exquisite touch of,
and with his
art.
filmography, he takes a jab at different genres over the years.
Mhm.
I will say one thing: over the years, you can tell he's focus more and more about the very specific things he finds interesting. So I do think some of the not so core audience may no longer be interested in what he has to offer. But on the contrary, me as a viewer, I'm even more interested because now he's just like, I don't care if these movies are a hit or not, because he was a big thing, or he still is. But I mean, money wise, he's actually gained quite popular in, I think, 10 years ago. But he, all his life, he's just directed stuff, and I'll do whatever I want. However, you could tell he was still somewhat catering. Like, you could tell whenever he's trying something quote unquote commercial, commercial for him, because that's the other thing. He had his own commercial. He will never be commercial, but
Exactly.
he's tried just to appeal different audiences by trying different things. But I think that's also an experiment, a personal experiment. He's not really doing it because he needs the money or because he wants the people attention. But him as a director, he wants to try to understand what the viewer wants, look from his lens.
Exactly.
But
And some of these things might also seem, spoiled from him, like if you compare, for example, if you watch Kika, one of his first movies, you say,
what is this?
what the F is this? So
But
again,
that's the point. Like, that is so, he has a very particular way of doing things. So when you watch all of his movies, it's like, wow, this man really wants to explore very different things every time he does something. And yet he uses a lot of familiar faces. His cast, he repeats. He has a lot of repeats, and I adore him for it because he's managed to get.
I imagine at some points, it's not him calling these actors and actresses, it's them wanting to participate in
I'm
his,
sure. No, wait.
movie.
I'm sure that's happened. However,
They call him, hey, I want to be in that movie.
exactly,
Okay?
but however, I don't see him being that guy. Say, oh yeah, I want you. No, his development process. I'm sure he's like, I envision this particular person for that character,
Exactly.
and now because again, I mean, famous actors know who he is. So I'm sure he just picks up the phone, calls an agent or something, tell that actor Almodovar is calling. And oh, damn, okay, here you go. Nicole Kidman, here you go. What?
Exactly.
I want you in my next movie. Yes, that's it.
And then they say, hi, how are you? Thank you for
Hola,
calling,
hola, sí.
Yeah. Yeah. To
And,
that
and
question you're about to ask, yes.
yes, exactly. It's an honor at this
Yeah.
point. You don't really care as an actor. I mean, his latest movie in English, his first one, movie in English, I was shocked. I remember I went to the movies. It was only like 4 people in that cinema. I was pissed because I want people to go and watch it. But the point is,
I was real happy, for sure, if I am the only one in the room, oh yeah.
I want his work to be recognized. That's exactly also why I'm talking about it here and being so
But
passionate about it.
you don't need to have a room full of people to recognize Almodóvar's, because there are many of us who are watching him from, streaming connection, or I don't know, we find his movies somewhere, etc., etc. Okay, but again, he's got his people, he's got his whole audience, which I bet is which I bet is huge, huge. Okay.
He's huge within the audience that consumes good cinema.
Definitely.
Like, you bring up the name of Almodovar, people know who he is, and very well deserved. That what's that word? I mean, being recognized in those circles because
Okay.
it is a very artistic work that he puts out, very well thought of, very profound, and at the same time, very light to consume. A lot of his movies are just enjoyable, period. That's the other thing. And I think that really makes a big difference when compared to a lot of independent movies. His movies are not really difficult to understand. His movies are very rarely complex to understand. You, as a viewer, you will see a very simple thread. Maybe if you're not
Yes.
analyzing yet,
Yes. I don't think they're made only for entertainment.
expand on that. Are they always
Again,
a purpose?
exactly. They always have a purpose, and you can easily identify it whenever you watch, a whole bunch of Almodovar's movies. You realize, okay, this man has message, okay, and he wants to tell you this, okay, as simple
No,
as that.
and I also have to attribute to him another movie of his. I'm not naming the name because I don't really want to try to spoil other possible movies we're talking here. We
Of
may end up
course,
talking
of course.
here. Uh,
Every 10 movies, there will be one of Almodovar, for
good,
sure,
yeah,
for sure.
perfect. I'll live. Uh, but this movie I'm talking about, I remember I had a really bad breakup, and I mean we were already friends then, and I watched it. I had not watched it, and I fell back into that black hole because of this movie. I thought I was fine. I didn't really know what this movie was about, and yet, wow! I watched that, and I went back into the black hole for like a month and a half because
Thank you, Almodovar.
movie was, yes, absolutely. Look, I think I had not watched a movie that connected with that negative emotion that you feel inside that deeply. I every step of the movie I was like, oh wow, okay,
Yeah,
that's
and
looked,
for
that's
sure,
how I acted.
What Almodovar tells you is stop avoiding, face it.
Face the facts. Yes, he's very much that, and but that's the thing. I mean, again, different movies of his have different purposes. So all about my mother, the purpose is just telling a story while at the same time portraying these different mother characters.
Mhm.
But I think honestly think it's the whole point of the movie is telling a story
Yes.
of the journey of this mother to learn how to live without her son.
Yeah.
And that is a very sad but very beautiful story to tell, just because it's about change. It's about readapting, relearning a lot of the things you once knew. And
And
just,
everyone, it usually it is expected mothers to die first, but in this case, it was totally the opposite, and it was a beautiful way to talk about it. As
yes, that, well, I'm getting emotional. Yes, that's exactly that. It just hits the right notes. It
yeah,
has comedy. It has everything. It has a little bit of everything.
absolutely everything.
Yet the whole story, when you look from the outside, it's very sad. But he knows how to tell a story. He
Yeah,
just knows. Mhm.
yes. And you don't feel like, oh, this is a cheesy movie or, corny
No,
or whatever. No. Mm-mm.
there is no cheese in his movies.
There is
I
no
can say
cheese.
that much. Never in all of his
Exactly.
filmography. Never in his life. He's
Yeah.
they may not be liked by some people, by some audience members, even people with good taste,
Mhm.
but he just does what he wants, and that's perfectly fine by me because there is no uh, compromised artistic view in whatever he does.
Unfortunately, Freddie, we have to come to an end, okay? But wow, I'm so happy we are talking about this movie at this particular stage of Go Movie Talks. This is beautiful, and I guess, one of the One of the things I love the most about this show is that I do something I love with someone I love, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And nowadays we have all this technology in which we can post whatever we want, how we want. So here we are, episode 10, all about my mother. People, watch the movie because you won't lose your time, okay? This is definitely a masterpiece, and I hope you guys continue to watch movies after continue to watch movies of Almodovar after this one, okay? Because all of them are very well worth to watch and to digest. And I guess this is it. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, share. To
It's so natural. I love it.
all of you 4 followers out there, please do so.
Thank you so much for watching. But like, subscribe, share, comment. Tell us if you like it. Please watch it and let us know if you liked it. If you don't like it, it's fine. Let us know as well. We want to hear it. We're here for it.
Definitely.
Thank you a lot. Have a great week. Bye-bye. This was
Bye,
Go
people.
Thanks for watching. Go Movie Talks.